I believe the very first song that we recorded was Got a Job, and My Mama Done Told Me. We actually sang My Mama Done Told Me before it actually was a recording. We actually went to the audition and sang that song. It was an original. And so I think that's one of the things that Mr. Gordy probably liked was the fact that, as young people, we had our own music, our own songs.
And can you describe that studio? Do you remember what it looked like? Please do share.
Well, the original studio really was a real studio. And there had been many, many people that recorded in that studio. It was called United Sound. And one of the things that happened there in terms of the times that we were living in, we were asked to come to the studio at 6 p.m. It's a fall evening. So Smokey and I arrived there first. We're sitting in the car, and the police pull up. And they come, because by this time it's getting kind of dark, and they're flashing the light and flashing the light. And you're saying, well, why were they doing that? Well, Smokey was very fair-skinned at that time, and I was a little browner, and so they thought we were a mixed couple sitting in the car. And so that's why they were checking us out, just to make sure that, no mixing up in here. This is Detroit, Michigan now.
This is a perfect segue. So Miracle's rise to stardom is during the beginning of the civil rights movement in America. So how did you personally handle this? How did Motown, how were you handling this?
Well, it wasn't a lot to handle. And I say that there was not a lot that we could do about it. It was certainly a lot to handle, to know that because of the color of your skin, that there were places that you couldn't go. And you would think that because I was born in the South, I would have known these things. I don't know if I was sheltered or whatever happened, but when I was a little girl, we were coloreds. And when we were colored, the water fountains and the bathrooms were labeled colored and white. And for coloreds, it was men, women, children, whatever. And white, you had white men, white women, but not for coloreds. And I, as a little girl, I think I was about 6. When I saw this sign colored, because I learned to read really early, and so I just thought, oh my gosh, guess what's going to happen? I thought blue and red and yellow water is going to come out of this fountain. I was so disappointed because it's just plain old white water like the other water. And people ask me today, they say, well, why'd you think that? I said, because it said colored. So wouldn't you think if it's colored, you're going to have more than one color? So I was a little disappointed. And I guess my grandmother really probably sheltered me, because I can remember we would go on the bus and we had to go to the back of the bus. And I thought we were like some sort of privilege or something, that we got the opportunity to go to the back, because when you're a little girl or a little boy, the best seat in the whole entire bus is the back seat, because you can sit there and as the bus is going, you can just roll around and just have such a really good time. You go to the movie theater and guess where you're sitting? In the balcony. And you can look, especially if you get the front row of the balcony, you can look over and you can see everything, plus you can see the screen. It's nothing better. So she didn't tell me that this is where we had to sit or where we had to be. So I really, unfortunately, like I said, she passed away when I was 8, so I was still pretty young. So I didn't know that these things were out of the ordinary. I just thought that we were exceptional because, after all, we got a chance to sit on the back seat of the bus, and we could just be, and it was fun. She just made things that probably would have been hard for some other people, so could have been a disaster. For me, she made it like it was a joy. We were big time,